Hello everyone, welcome to our broadcast for this Sunday. It is October 13th. We're already halfway through the month of October. I hope you're doing fantastic today and have had a great weekend. As you can see, we are back to, I'm going to be doing back on every Sunday. So for the summer, we took pretty much every other week off. So now we're going to try going back to every Sunday and see how that goes, okay? So hopefully you will enjoy that. Anyway, the topic for today is going to be about Friday's video, which was about veganism. Interesting thing, right? You know, I've always made plenty of videos about veganism and diet and all that sort of stuff over the years, and it's always been faced with like so much criticism. It's like if you're not following one thing, you get criticized in this way, and if you're not following this other thing, you get criticized in this way. And I don't know. I feel as though it's just people have finally just let off of that over the years, but there was a lot of talk about that initially. It really was. So that's what we'll be diving into in just a moment here. It looks like I have damaged my chair, which is unfortunate. There's a crack. Oh no, there's a crack in it. I may need to put some tape on it to prevent it from getting any worse. But anyway, so we are joined here by our tea, although not necessarily a day that I really need the tea, to be completely honest with you, but I still have that. And we have our friendly mice here as well. Anyway, hope you all had a fantastic weekend. My weekend was quite busy, a lot of running around, a lot of cooking and food preparation, a lot of stuff. So fortunately now for the rest of the day, it is relatively calm. So I hope that you have had a fantastic weekend as well. Okay. So I guess we just start diving on into this topic now, shall we? So over the years, I've talked about my diet and how I have changed my diet over the years, and how I have gone from, you know, basically someone who was eating, I was not really conscious of the food that I ate, to being a lot more conscious about the foods that I eat, and looking at the ingredients and everything. You know, when you're much younger and you're not really paying attention, or you just don't really care, or you just don't really know what is in the foods that you're eating. You know, you just buy anything that looks interesting off the shelf. You know, it's just like, oh, that looks interesting. You have no regard for the ingredients in it, or, you know, the amount of sugar, which is also a very important thing, and just things along those lines. For the most part, I feel as though that's how a lot of people are. They don't really care. They don't really look. And over the years, I would say that a food has certainly gotten far worse quality than it is now. It's certainly, I wouldn't even necessarily call it food at this point. The food on the shelf is basically, it looks like food, but it's just a bunch of chemicals that are masquerading as food, essentially. It's not really actually food. And I think once you realize that, then you begin to actually pay attention to what the ingredients are, pay attention to how much sugar is in something, which I think is probably the biggest thing to be mindful of. Not necessarily how much fat or, you know, carbs are in it. It's mostly the sugar, which sugar is a type of carb, but just paying attention to those things. So that's basically how I was a very, very long time ago. And mind you, I did not weigh too much more than I actually do right now. You know, I probably weighed maybe 15 pounds more than what I do now, when I was on the more unhealthy diet, which I guess is significant, but I actually lost a bunch. I actually lost a bunch of weight like earlier this year, and I have not been able to put that back on. But that's a different story entirely. But it's interesting because, for the most part, even with all that unhealthy food, everyone's body and metabolism and all that sort of stuff is so different. Everyone is a unique person with the types of sensitivities and things along those lines. that they have. So for me, I wanted to be more mindful of my health, primarily because the main issue that I was having was that I would feel as though there was, right in my chest here, right where my heart was, it feels as though there was something that would just occasionally just get blocked, and it would be hard to actually breathe in all the way. And I had to take a deep breath to finally get it in. We're talking, gosh, how old was I at that point? I was maybe like 20 or so. Maybe it was probably, I think it lasted for a few years before I started to exercise. But I guess it was around, maybe even before 20. Maybe even before 20. That's when I kind of started to get into a little bit of a workout routine, because my cholesterol levels were not the most ideal. So that's just what made me aware and mindful of, paying attention to some of the foods that I'm eating, or exercising as well. So it was a very slow, gradual thing to get to where I am now, essentially. And so started being more mindful, started to pay more attention, slowly transitioned from a, omnivore type diet to like mostly pescatarian, to then vegetarian, to then eventually vegan in, I guess 2018 is basically when it happened. And that was about a few years that lasted. So that was a very slow process. So I speak with a lot of people who, they want to change their diet. Some people would want to go vegan, but the problem is that they try to do it way too quickly, way too fast. And the main issue with that is that you can't do that fast. It may take many years for you to get to where your ideal goal is, because your body is not going to adapt well if you just immediately change it, and it's very rapid and very unhealthy for your body. So you have to do it very gradually. However, there are certain issues when it comes to all food, not just vegan food. And this is mostly what we discussed in Friday's topic here. So I would like to say hello to Nightclub and Devoured Eagle. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're doing fantastic. Devoured Eagle, it's been a while since we've seen you. Hopefully you're doing fantastic. So I will continue on with my story in just a moment, but hopefully you all are doing well. There you go, 100 and hearts. That's right. That's right. Rooster, you need to find your super fan. Your super fan was here last week. Your super fan needs to come back. Anyway, super fan Rooster. Okay, Roosters, you're kind of in my way of my tea. Let me see if I can sip my tea now. I cannot. It's still too warm for me. Anyway, Nightclub says, I was the same way as well. I've noticed that too. It's sad. Yeah, all of the unhealthy food, I would imagine, is what you're referring to there. Yeah. It is. It's certainly gotten very, very bad. Very, very bad. Thanks, Walter. It's been a crazy year, but so far, so good. Well, so far, I mean, look, crazy year. It's the year is almost over. 2.5 more months, and then it's over. So it is pretty crazy to think about. It is getting cooler. It's getting colder. This may be like one of the last few times that I can wear, my short sleeves. So, it is a shame. It's a shame. It was so nice today. The weather was so nice today. But it's coming to an end. It's coming to an end soon. I'm so disappointed and upset about that. I really am. Anyway. So why don't we start diving back into some of the food topic here. So it's interesting. We talk about the unhealthy food. Now, this is going to depend on what country that you live in. Because here's the thing. In the United States, we're like the #1 country in many ways. But when it comes to health, it's not. It's not. I mean, you can't call it a third world country because you have access to a bunch of food. But most of the time, the type of food that you have access to, that's relatively cheap at least, is all garbage. It's all garbage. It's basically like pharmaceutical products that look like food. That's basically what it is. Or they will lead you to developing diabetes and cancer and, you know, all that sort of stuff, depending on what's in it, obviously. You know, some of the major issues being what sort of pesticides are used on the ingredients that are in your food. A lot of times it is glyphosate, which is carcinogenic. Or how much sugar is added. You know, that's going to contribute to cancer and other harms of the body. You know, how much sugar is added in it. You know, and then there's food colorings that are added. It's like, why do you need food colorings for your cereal? Is there a reason to have all those different colors? Like, it's just visually appealing. It doesn't have any nutritional value whatsoever. But there they are. So it's just interesting because other countries may not necessarily have the same problem that the United States does, in that they could have better quality foods and ingredients. Not necessarily all the time, but it depends, obviously, what country we're talking about here. Okay, so you know, I don't know about, you know, Canada. You know, I don't know about the UK, but I think, you know, in some of those countries, you may not have a lot of those food colorings. I believe somewhere in Europe, or maybe it's just Europe in general, I think something to do with like banning glyphosate or something along those lines. So there's just, when it comes to the food quality in the United States, it is certainly very, very poor. It really is. Which is why you have to be so mindful. It doesn't matter what type of food that you're eating. You always have to be mindful. Now, we're talking about food and everything, and I mentioned yesterday was a very busy day for me, so I went to 3 different grocery stores yesterday, just going around a bunch of different grocery stores and everything. Now, it's interesting, because the grocery stores that I went to, a lot of the products there were imported from other countries. So you have a Mexican grocery store, so you have Mexican products imported from Mexico. You can look at the ingredients there and say, okay, what's different about these ingredients as opposed to the ingredients in the United States products? Then you have like Asian grocery stores. Like, okay, so you have, you know, China and Japan and Korea and those countries. What sort of ingredients are used? Personally, I have found out of most of the shopping that I've done, usually Chinese is the absolute worst. Even worse than American, it seems. At least the ones that are imported. I don't know about if you actually live in the country. I don't know, but really, really, really bad ingredients. It's actually very hard to find some good quality ingredients when it comes to Chinese food. And then, you know, Indian food as well. That one is actually probably the easiest when it comes to the ingredients being the simplest and the most nutritious. It doesn't have as much bad stuff. Certainly you have to be mindful of some of the bad stuff, but it's just interesting. So that goes to show, you know, in the United States, there's so many bad things that are added that you shouldn't be eating. You should not be eating at all. So you just gotta, you know, just not eat those things. Now, how does this lead into the veganism topic and everything? Because let me tell you this, over the years, you know, me going vegan and then not being vegan anymore, and I'm really surprised that all of the, you know, anti-vegan, I mean, the people who are vegan who hate on the people who are not vegan are not here today. You know, I mean, it's, I don't know. YouTube doesn't ever promote my stuff anymore anyway. So it's like no one's going to even know that I'm even here right now besides you or two. Regardless, it's interesting because, as I said, when I would post a video about a diet, there would be people who would attack. They would go on a tirade about how I'm abusing animals. Like, oh, you're abusing fish if you're a pescatarian. think about the cow. You're stealing the cow's milk and everything. It's like, do you know the process by which it happens? And it's like, will you just stop? It's like you're absolutely obnoxious. No one really cares what you have to say. So I'm really surprised that those fools, shall we say, because they are very foolish individuals who have no idea what they're talking about half the time, that they're not here today. Okay? Because that's actually, when you try to force someone to do something, it makes them go in the opposite direction. So when I heard those people saying those things, I went the complete opposite direction. I was just thinking, you know what? Maybe I should go carnivore. Maybe I should be a carnivore. You know? Just kind of thinking about that. It's like, okay, that'll make you really happy, won't it? But regardless, you know, it's like I don't do things for other people. I really do not care what their opinions and what they have to say. Okay? So let's just completely get that out of the way. I really don't. But it's just interesting when they're actually not here. Because it's like, you would expect them to be here, especially if you're bashing their cult, the vegan cult. Now, I do think a vegan diet can be very, very good for you. Okay? I'm not here to discount the diet entirely. I'm not here to say, that's wrong, you should never do that. I'm here to say, whatever diet works for you, that's the one you should do. That's not up to me to make that decision. I'm not here to tell you. You have to make the one. You have to be the one to make that call. Only you can make that determination. So I'm not here to tell you that. What I am here to tell you is that I have watched plenty of these vegan people over the years. Even like, you know, when I made the video from last week, when I was looking up some people as well, talking about vegan and everything. You see people going to a grocery store and it's like, yeah, all these things are vegan, but that doesn't mean that they're healthy. Because you have to think about this. From a typical American diet filled with junk food and carbs and sugars and bread and all this garbage. Sure, you can say going vegan is going to be better, but guess what? You still have all that garbage that's actually contributing to your problems. Is the meat contributing to your problems? Is the dairy contributing to your problems? And the eggs? Likely not. What the problem is that people are consuming all of these oils in their food, such as soybean oil or corn oil or canola oil or sunflower oil and all these other garbage oils that literally wreck the body and wreck your DNA and all the cells within it. So, yeah, it's vegan, but it's loaded with a bunch of soy garbage. You know, soybean oil, highly processed oil, absolute, really, really bad for you. So yeah, that's the problem. You have these people who say that this is vegan, but they show you the ingredients and they don't have a problem with there being soybean oil in it. Or there being hydrogenated, you know, other types of oils. Or things along those lines. They don't tell you that those things are bad. Instead, they say, oh yeah, it's vegan, it's good, it's fine. The problem is that those ingredients is what's contributing to the health problems that people have. It's not because they're eating meat and dairy products, it's because of those other ingredients. If you cut out those ingredients and you're still eating, you know, meat and dairy products, you will probably notice that you feel way better just by doing that. Now, mind you, everyone is different again. So maybe you do have an allergy. Maybe you do have an allergy to dairy products. So maybe you can't eat that. Maybe you are allergic to other certain things here and there. But you gotta remember this, even certain meat products, it's not necessarily healthy either. If you're buying the lowest quality garbage from the grocery store, that doesn't mean it's healthy. And especially now with, you know, probably can't talk too much about it on YouTube, but it's, let's just say the animals have been boosted. Okay, so you have to be very careful and mindful of those things. You really do. Anyway. DJ? I would like to say hello to Meditech. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're doing fantastic. Let me read over some of your comments here and then we shall continue. I've heard from Dr. Berg that it would be more healthy if they put sawdust instead of maltodextrin. There you go, maltodextrin. What is maltodextrin? If anyone is not aware of it, it is basically like corn. It is like a corn fiber or like a cornstarch type product. It's made from corn, genetically modified corn, and it's basically a powder and a filler. So it's used to, in like if you get a protein powder, a lot of times it may have maltodextrin to bulken it up, as opposed to just being a little tiny bit. And it's made of corn, and it's usually genetically modified corn. So look at this cute mouse. Look at this cute mouse. Anyway. Oh, you can't forget this mouse. You look at this cute mouse too. Ristas, you're a super fan, is not here today. Oh, I know. They are upset. Maybe your super fan will be here another day, babies. Maybe another day. Anyway. Let me continue on. Anyone remember a YouTuber called Vegan Gains? He did not end well. Oh no, what happened to him? I remember him from a long time ago. Did something happen to him? Let me see. Let me check. Okay, YouTube. Oh no, still posting stuff. Okay, still posting stuff. So yeah, I don't know. Still going. Did something happen to him? I don't know. Let me just say this. I just remember, like back in the day when I checked that out, I'm like, yeah, this person's like way too aggressive. It's like, okay. So there's certain precautions someone has to take when it comes to vegan diet and everything. There's just so many different things, but at least coming from my experience here, I can talk about my experience. So I want to say, was it early 2022, I believe? I was having a lot of these health issues. And I was just thinking, it's gotta be my diet. What else could it be? So, I stopped being vegan then, and I started, eating some more animal products. And unfortunately, that did not solve the problem. So my health issue was actually not related to my diet, surprisingly. Some of it was, but not really the full story. A lot of it had to do with medication that I was taking, that I'm still taking, that destroys the lives of many. Okay, so it's just like, yeah, so I just think that for me, that just did not work out, but everyone's body's different. Everyone's body is different, it really is. That's why you can never really say for certain that everyone has to be this way or everyone has to be that way, because when it comes to the science of diet and food, there is so much conflicting information that shows that it's all a matter of personal preference and what your body is capable of digesting. Like if my body's if I eat something, and here's the interesting thing that I've noticed. So I identify some foods that don't sit well with me, that may cause a lot of bloating and issues and things along those lines, digestive problems. If I incorporate dairy products into that meal, those problems go away, despite the fact that I'm eating the same thing, but the dairy product is somehow helping with or aiding in the digestion of that. Whereas other people, they have a little bit of dairy product, or they have a lactose intolerance, and they will immediately get all bloated and have stomach aches and all that sort of stuff. So it's like everyone is different. Everyone is different in that regard. So you just have to listen to what your body says. What does your body tell you? If it tells you that when you eat something and you're having digestive problems, if you have brain fog, if things are not sitting well with you, then look at the ingredients of those and find out what some sort of allergy you may have is and avoid it. For me, I try to avoid most soy things. Now, it depends on the type of soy, obviously. Soybean oil, absolutely everyone should avoid that at all costs. I really wish I could scream that loud enough so that everyone in the world could hear. Just say no soybean oil at all. Please just stop. Stop using it at all. So, but unfortunately that's just not, no one's going to hear that message and take note of that message. It's like you're talking to a wall a lot of time. People aren't going to listen. They don't care. But regardless, soy products for the most part I try to avoid. Now, if it's tofu, I don't really necessarily have too big of a problem with that, surprisingly, as long as it's, you know, in moderation. But that is soy. Or edamame is also kind of fine as well. You know, so anyway, I want to say hello to Heathen Granny 666 Trademark. Your name is Trademark today. Okay. You need to have a registered sign before your name now. Or a copyright sign. Copyright Heathen Granny 666 Trademark. Yes. Anyway, let me continue on with some of your comments here. Veganism is unhealthy, says Meditech. Again, that all depends on how your body is. Some people it is, other people it's not. You know, everyone is different and unique, but it certainly can be if you're not paying attention to the food that you're eating. Many of those vegan products end up being ultra-processed, which contributes to inflammatory disease like cancer. You're absolutely right. You have to avoid as much of that as you can. See, for the most part, I try to avoid certain vegetables even because that just has digestive problems. Like, if I'm going to be eating like raw, like broccoli or cabbage or even like really like any raw vegetable, if it's not really cooked, I feel as though it doesn't digest well. And I think for a lot of people, that is how it is. Okay, so it's like, but again, if I eat it with some sort of dairy product, I really don't have the problem. It's very interesting how that works. Let's see, Vegan Gains went full schizo and just pivoted to other type of content because the vegan grift faded out. Oh, okay. Let me see. So I had looked momentarily. We still talking about vegan stuff. His latest video is vegan diet causes muscle loss, which was just from 3 days ago, and now it's, what else is here? War stuff, religion stuff, vegan stuff. I mean, okay. Notice how he's like not in like any of the thumbnail. Well, he's in some, but anyway, I'm getting off there because I'm getting brain damage just looking at the channel. I am. Anyway. We were meant to be vegan because we don't have fangs. Okay, you know, that's an argument that I've heard as well. You know, some people have very sharp teeth right here, other people don't. I think mine were probably sharper, but you know, when you're not tearing into the flesh of another animal, they become dull. Do they sell raw milk over there? No, they do not. I don't know of any place that sells raw milk, unless like, so I believe when you're talking about like Amish people, you know, Amish people may sell that, and I believe there have been raids that the government has done on Amish farmers for selling raw milk. So yes, technically raw milk, it's not allowed to be sold, I suppose. But Amish people may still do that, but it's just messed up that the government gets involved in that. And the reason is, it's all for your health. It's all for your health. It has to be pasteurized, despite the fact that there's so much contamination with pasteurized products. Or when you buy eggs, usually it comes from a very sickly chicken that's pumped full of a bunch of hormones and antibiotics. So it's like, yeah, that is healthy. But the chicken that's out, you know, walking around on the grass, and it's not pasteurized before the egg goes into the carton. That's dangerous and deadly. It's like, sure it is. Sure it is. Anyway. Let me continue on, please. Heathen Granny 666 trademark. Rooster, you would like that because that's your favorite number, right? That's right. Boy, not on camera. You get me banned. You get me banned. YouTube has a policy about making out on video. Okay? I guess they don't say anything about rats making out. What has this stream become? What has it become? Who knows? Anyway, let me continue on. Meditech says there's a doctor who does autopsies say they can tell the difference between non-vegans and vegan brains. The vegan brains are less healthy in a video on here somewhere. Oh, interesting. Yeah, that could be due to the fats, the omega fats and everything. There could be less wrinkles in the vegan brain, you know, possibly. Nightclub says, I actually think there was an Amish guy that was suing the feds over selling raw milk. I can't remember their names or what, but it's something to look into. Interesting. Yeah, I just know about the one recently, like over the past, I guess it was last year maybe, that the Amish farmer, his all of thousands of dollars worth of product was stolen by the government because it was raw dairy products, illegal. And what are they going to do? Throw that out? They're probably going to eat it themselves. Like, oh yes, free raw dairy products. You know, there's also plenty of stories that people have said, you know, they had digestive issues and they eat raw dairy products, and then that basically that the problems go away. You know, I have not tried that, but I don't really have any digestive issues unless it's something that I eat that does not sit well when it comes to the ingredients that I know that I should not eat. So soybean oil being the main culprit. I feel horrible after that. It's like I'm just like dead. But what about cheese? did someone say cheese? Cheese? Hmm? Hmm? Boy, sorry, I don't have any cheese for you guys. They would like some cheese. But look, you have feet though. You can sniff your feet. Okay. Yep, smells like cheese. Boys. There you go. See, look, they are just so they're so cute, aren't they? Look how cute. So very cute. Look how this one here, his head moves more as I'm scratching his ear. Anyway, it's there you go. There you go, boys. You're in camera. They can see you very well now. Anyway, let me continue on. See, I knew about a family farm that's been on a year battle with a government called Angus Miller Farm. They got heavily attacked during lockdowns because they sell those products. Oh, okay. I'm not too familiar with that. It's possible I may have heard about it once I get the details, but I'm not entirely sure just by the name. Rooster cheese, that can't be vegan. Oh. Just thinking about Rooster making cheese. He'd make it with his feet. That's what it is. He'll make it with his feet. He'll just put his feet into it. But the thing is, by the time the final product is made, it'll be gone because they will be eating it as they make it. Like, ooh, this is so a good boy. Yes, it is, boy. Let's just eat it. How cute. How cute. Hmm. I am just close to halfway done my tea. So for those of you who have just now joined or did not hear my announcement earlier on, if you couldn't tell by the name, the title of this broadcast even, I will be doing this again every Sunday. So we're going to be back here every Sunday. It's not just going to be every other week, you know. We'll see how that goes. We'll see if we're able to draw in some more people. You have to factor this in. You know, it's all about the people. If there's no one here to interact with, it's kind of like, well, why should I do it? You know what I mean? So that was it was actually different reasons why I went down to every other week, because it wasn't my main focus. And it was also summertime, and it was also very, very hot as well. That is not an excuse, but yeah, so you know, we're gonna try it again every week. There may be some weeks that I decide, I don't feel like doing it. We'll see. But for the most part, I'm going to be doing it every Sunday now, 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time, so look forward to that. Oh, and Devoured Eagle over on Rumble. Hello to you as well. Hello to you. I got the notification here too. There you go. Look, you're late. You're late over on Rumble. You are. You're late. You're like 45 minutes late. Yeah, we stream to multiple platforms to see how that goes. Unfortunately, Rumble has not really caught any traction. No, it has not. It is not. Which is unfortunate, you know? Always looking for alternatives to YouTube for the inevitable collapse of YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, a few weeks ago, I think it was actually just last week, I had actually attended a YouTube event. So that was actually really, really cool. I did not know any of the people there. It was a sushi making event, so I made sushi. So there was like 30 people there. I didn't know anyone, and I don't think really anyone else. But there could have been a few people who kind of knew each other a little bit, but for the most part, I wasn't familiar, and most people were not familiar and everything. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. So certainly making YouTube videos, and growing your channel certainly has, benefits. You can meet other people. You can, have a little bit of a community here and there and everything. So I just thought that was just really, really cool. I really did. So, yep. Always sushi is very good too. Okay. It's always good to have backups. Rumble doesn't have an algorithm yet per se. Yeah, which means that they can't necessarily censor you on there either. Yeah. And I like the cat as well that you put on your Rumble. The cat. What's that? It's called R plus Cat Jam. What's it called? R plus Cat. I don't know. There's like the cat's like this. How cute. I like that. Oh, I wonder if I can add that. I wonder if that'll show up like as like an image. I wonder if I add it to the stream if it'll be animated. It is. Look. There it is. We we got the cat. We got the we got the cat. We got the cat. We got the cat. It's gone. Oh my gosh. Oh wait. We have some amazing more good ones here. We have some another good ones here. We got a creepy dog. We got a creepy dog. Is this just become like a whole meme thing now? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Hold on. And I like this one too. I like this one too. Oh my gosh. And then you can just wrap it up with this too. There you go. My whole stream has become a meme. It's a gigantic meme. The gigantic. This is the best one. He just like fits so well. He just looks so good. He really does. He just. Oh my gosh. Okay, delete that. He just. Oh. Oh man. Oh man. Oh, I'm burning up now. It's so funny. It's so funny. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You got those on Telegram and WhatsApp stickers too? Oh my gosh. I know that they're gifts, but I've never seen it as like a sticker. What a pack is that on a Telegram? I should see. I should see and find it. See if I can search. That's right. I don't know how I can search. They kind of made it very hard to actually search, so may not be able to find it. Oh man, that was very, very funny. It really was. Anyway, does anyone have anything exciting for the week ahead? I think what we're gonna do, we'll try to end this with like more of some advice of wisdom. What are your thoughts on A2 milk? A2 milk, A2 milk. I forget what that is. Let me take a quick look and see. Personally, I don't drink milk. I do not like the taste of it at all. I drink coconut milk, unsweetened coconut milk. It has almost as much fat as whole milk, surprisingly. A2 milk. Sabrina milk treated of the A2 milk company. Okay, well, it's a company, but how so? Australia, New Zealand, and China, and and United States. It says it lacks a form of casein protein A1. Mostly has A2. I don't really have any knowledge of exactly what the benefits of that are, personally, but I guess maybe it can be beneficial to you to some degree. I don't know though. I don't have too much knowledge of that. I want to say hello. That's right. I didn't actually say hello to you, Edgar. Hello, Edgar. As well as DEC. Great to have you here. How are you doing? See, I like the pumpkin as well. Yeah, look. Boo! It's Halloween time, guys. It's Halloween. Wait, hang on. There. There you go. We gotta line them up. Line them up, boy. There you go. Line them up. There you go. Almost. Anyway. Yeah, for all of you just now joining, I will be doing this every Sunday again. For those of you who have been here before, I was doing every other week, but we're going to go back to every Sunday and see how that goes. And hopefully we can have a nice, enjoyable time just like today. Now, before I continue on with your questions, we're just going to determine here, what is our advice of wisdom for this next week? What sort of things should we be looking out for? I'm going to draw one tarot card here, and this will be the theme of the week. What is the theme? The theme is the Magician. You can make anything magical. You can manifest your reality. You can manifest anything you desire. This is Number 1, creativity, self-confidence, dexterity, sleight of hand, willpower, and skill. So why don't you put your magical skills to use this week and do something that will manifest a positive outcome for you? Because life is very magical if you put in, the effort and time and dedication to something. Maybe you can achieve something spectacular. So that is the theme for this coming week. That's what I would like all of you to do, which is focus on manifesting through magic, even, if you want to call it magic. What you want in this life. What do you want to achieve? You can bring that about. Anyway, let me continue on with some of your comments here. You can add them from the new features. Let me see. I don't have a clue. Trending stickers. Yeah, just the trending stuff. Trending stuff is just all colorful stuff like that. It's not like it's not all what do you call it? Like the gifts, like that. This one's kind of funny. This one's kind of funny. Anyway, let me continue reading. Okay. Been a follower, subscriber of yours since I was 25. Now you're 33. Well, that is awesome. 7 years. 7 years. I appreciate that, Edgar. How have I changed over the past 7 years, and how have you changed? That's the ultimate thing, because I feel as though there's a lot of people who have shared stories of, I have maybe helped them or opened their eyes to something, and they've completely changed their life. So it's like, it's not just me changing other people, it's everyone else changing me as well, helping me become a better person. It's like when we're talking about that YouTube event the other week, I would not be able to be there if it wasn't for people such as yourself who have subscribed and watched my content. If there was no one, I would not be attending such event, So it's interesting. It's interesting. Not that the subscriber count matters, mind you, okay? It wasn't about subscriber count, because there was literally every type of person there. There were people there with millions of followers, and then people there who just had like 1,000, So I certainly do not have anywhere close to like 1 million. That would be nice, but this channel has not grown since like 2016. It's remained stagnant or has lost. So it's like, what you gonna do? It is what it is. It is what it is. Your content really helped me in the past. I discovered your channel when I got diagnosed with anxiety and heart palpitations. Oh, wow. Okay. There you go. They go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. Let's ask the magic 8-ball. Why don't we go ahead and bring up the magic 8-ball online? Think about a question. Think about a question in your life that you would like a yes or no answer to or something, okay? And it can be something that's on your mind as of late, or something that you really want to bring about. Just think about it for a moment. And then we shall shake the ball. And the answer, folks, is yes. Whatever your question was, the answer is yes. That'll be the outcome. Okay? The 8-ball says yes. So yes, you will, Devoured Eagle. Yes, you will. I still remember when you interviewed Blair White, but I found your channel later on. Blair White, I think, was the very first live stream that I did with another person. And look where she is. It's like, I don't personally make that type of content that she makes. That's really not me. You know what I mean? It's like the type of stuff that she does. That's really not my type of content. I really don't really. That's not me, if that makes sense. You know, I primarily focus on other stuff, which I guess is why it's more even keeled and it's not as like dramatic and it's not as doesn't get all the clicks and views when you're talking about dealing with depression and anxiety and health problems, all that sort of stuff. People, it's more of like a depressing matter as opposed to like talking about, look at all these people indoctrinating kids with trans stuff. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, that's going to get a lot more attention, but it's not really my focus. It's like, sure, that's interesting, but that's not me. But it is interesting though that because that was such a long time ago. Gosh. Interesting. Interesting stuff. Hmm. Hmm? Hmm? Anyway, folks, I'm going to finish reading over your comments, then we shall head off. Blair White is a grifter. Hmm. Yeah, a lot of people may think that. Many people form what is called this sector. It hasn't done that well, or simply challenged their view of life, view of content. Tio. Tio. I don't know. I want you to always remember how much you've helped people like me. There are many of us who don't often comment or join live streams. But we've been following your content for years. I very much appreciate that, Edgar. Thank you so very much. We watch your videos and always find them helpful. I'm not just saying this, but during a difficult time in my life, you provided answers that doctors either couldn't or refused to give, and it really made a difference for me. I still watch your shorts and continue to follow your content. Well, thank you. I very much appreciate that. Thank you. That's a amazing positive comment, and I truly appreciate that. You turned 34 a few days ago. Oh, nice. Okay. So you're actually slightly younger than me. I'll be turning 35 soon. Oh. 35. Oh, mid 30s. Mid 30s. Yeah. You can start to see the gray hair, the wrinkles, the saggy, baggy face and eye. Actually, I already am mid. I would say mid 30s is 34 to 36. Early 30s is 30 to 33. 34 to 36 is mid 30s, and 37 to 39 is late 30s. So, I am an Aries, so I am April. I don't know why I had to think for that. It's like, wait. What month? What month? April. 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 Anyway. Folks, I want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. I want to thank the Aristas for joining. Also, folks, hopefully I can do this. YouTube, please don't fail me now. Who got him? Muicide. That's an interesting name for the topic that we had today. That's a good one. And Bainbridge. Oh wait, we have to get this on as we're reading these. Cat Smith, Gale's Pipsqueak, and then a beer emoji and swords. It didn't show on here. No more names? We had a few more names. We had Jacqueline and Lyco Medes. I am probably mispronouncing that, but regardless. Anyway, let me finish reading off your comments, then we shall end it. One more thing. I live in India, and your content has reached some miles away from you, providing real help. I hope this knowledge lifts your spirits whenever you're feeling down. Well, thank you. I very much appreciate that. I'm going to close my eyes and listen to your stream while I try to sleep. Have a wonderful day and evening. Well, thank you so very much. Wow. That is so early in the morning for you. So thank you so very much for joining. I am going to conclude it here now, though. So I want to thank you all so very much for tuning in. Again, we are going to be going weekly now, so I look forward to seeing you again next Sunday. I should be alive again. There is a small possibility that I may not be, but prepare. I possibly will be here for the most part. So I will see you then, and you all take care. Have a great one. Have a great week ahead. So bye bye now, and thank you so very much, all of you joining and all the positive messages.